So, thank you. My friend from Denmark, Jan Ascher, sent me also some thoughts from Denmark, and he said that I can use his thoughts in this presentation. So, Denmark at first. Jan has collected a lot of Urantia book-related books and writings. His list includes at least 160 different works. Some samples. Gesavermes, Jesus Jew, Malcolm Magarich, Jesus Discovered, and so on. 160. He suggests. Oh, and if you need that list, you can contact with me or Jan. He suggests, first, try to translate something from the book into your native language. Translate someone else's work into your native language. Perhaps some strangers will like what they read. Write some articles about specific issues of public interest. Send them to various newspapers. Perhaps you will be surprised. The idea of translating these different Urantia book-related publications arises from the fact that our perspectives vary and we are each at different level of spirituality. What works for one doesn't work for another. Sorry. Urantia book. Give the milk of truth to those who are babies in spiritual perception in your living and loving ministry. Serve spiritual food in attractive form and shoot it to the capacity of receptivity. Very important word, receptivity, of each of your inquirers. For children 8 to 10, you might consider a book by Eno Gao, The Cosmic Voyage, Our Greatest Adventure. While to people at advanced spiritual levels, you can directly offer the Urantia book. The first thing to do is just check their receptivity. So, that's all from Denmark. And next will be Estonia. Let's see, have they done something? First, just take an Excel table and write into the first column all the people you know. In the second column, note whether you have introduced him or her to the Urantia book. Yes, no. In third column, note whether he, she is a reader. In the fourth, you can note whether he, she has a book. In the fifth, you can note whether he, she is in study group. You may think that this is too naive or too simple a way to disseminate the teachings or the book, but actually it's the most efficient way to introduce the book for those who know nothing about it, face to face, and in very systematic way. It's not so easy that you have to train yourself to do that job. Urantia book. But it's only foolish to attempt the too sudden acceleration of religious growth. A race or nation can only assimilate from any advanced religion, that which is reasonably consistent and compatible with its current evolutionary status, plus its genius for adaptation. So, next important issue, availability. If you want to sell the Urantia book and disseminate its teachings, it must be available everywhere and in most possible forms. In bookstores, as a book, on the internet in electronic form, and also as an audiobook. We got inspiration from the Finns, and now we have already recorded 120 papers. Everyone can listen to them from our homepage. This is my lovely wife, Margit, making Estonian audiobook. Next, what we have done. One of us sent an introduction to all lecturers of philosophy at Estonian universities. Now it is in the suggested list for a lecture at one of the most important universities in Estonia. Next. In consideration of new study group attenders, we have a monthly seminar-like study group where all new readers can freely join. Next. Attending book fairs, as you all probably do, is a good way to promote the book, and thanks to one of our donors, we were able to put Urantia book into the 26 biggest libraries in Estonia. Urantia book. Revelation teaches mortal man that to start such a magnificent and intriguing adventure through space by means of the progression of time, he should begin by the organization of knowledge into idealizations. Next mandate, wisdom to labor unremittingly at its noble task of transforming self-possessed ideas into increasingly practical, but nonetheless supernal ideals. It is not enough just to know some interesting ideas. We have to also live by those interesting ideas in very practical ways. We have to keep our legs on the ground and actually do things. So, how to disseminate for agnostics or unbelievers? First, my wife Margit participates in a storytelling club where all members tell stories and then they analyze those stories. Margit adjusts stories for that meeting from the Urantia book. Urantia book says, you can achieve the unity of the service of God even while you render such service in accordance with the technique of your own original endowments of mind, body and soul. What I want to say is that you don't have to change yourself by 180 degrees. You can serve others or God already from where you are and disseminate the teachings by your work, by your hobbies, and so on. Dissemination for agnostics and unbelievers, the second. One of us formed a philosophy club for his friends. He invited everyone participating to make presentations for the club meetings, but found that others don't like to present, so that he, of course, was able to talk every time about topics from the Urantia book. Every one of us could create such a club. Would be a nice social gathering with added value. Urantia book says, the weak indulge in resolutions, but the strong act. Life is but a day's work. Don't do it well. The act is ours, the consequences God's. Sorry, Olga, I also use that because it's so important. So, next, dissemination for Christians. One of us, I mean Estonians, wanted to create a forum for all religions in Estonia to promote ecumenism between them. Though in the beginning many different religionists agreed to join, a couple of weeks before the first forum there remained only Muslims. But he had a friend from one Christian denomination, the main priest, and joined with their Bible study group. They didn't believe what he presented to them, but they missed his difficult questions for them and believe that one day he will also be a member of their denomination. The reality is that their highest priest sometimes attends our study group. We are good friends and understand each other. Urantia book says, lead men into the kingdom, and the great and living truths of the kingdom will presently drive out all serious error. And Jesus learned much about men while in Rome, but the most valuable of all the manifold experiences of his 6-month sojourn in that city was his contact with and influence upon the religious leaders of the empire's capital. So, mature apples. One of my friends asked my wife Margit why she started to read Urantia book when she met me.
I had to.
Wait her answer. She answered that she was ready for it. She was like a mature apple. To find all of those mature apples, we have sent flyers to Estonian homes. Before we started to send flyers, the average sales per quarter was 6 books. But after we sent flyers, the sales average was 20 books per quarter. Don't think that you will get many readers by this strategy. You will get a response from maybe 1 in 300 or 500. But you can pick up those mature apples. So, sowing seeds for the future. Now we should talk about plans, about marketing plans, about goals and implementation, but let it be. Maybe some other time when our national organizations are bigger and stronger. However, I understand that our Father in heaven desires that one day we shall live in the age of light and life. We want to live in a world where relations between people are relations between people are warm and lovely. But today we are far from that. So, how do we get a little closer to that desired age? It is very easy. By growing ourselves spiritually and helping others to grow. We have also we have two main groups that we can turn our attention to. A, Urantia book readers, who we have only a few. B, the others, who we have billions. I think that everything is okay with those in group A. We are working and communicating with them. We have study groups, conferences, and so on. We do that with pleasure because it is very nice and comfortable to communicate with people who think as you and understand you. It's natural and we must continue with that. Naturally, there are some difficulties with those in group B. How do we contact with them? Or how do we contact with them? How do we connect with them? Why don't the seeds we have sown grow? Or perhaps we haven't sown those seeds yet. In Europe, we have 500 million people. If every 1,000th person would decide to read the Urantia book, then we would have 500,000 readers. Is it impossible? Impossible is nothing, as Nike says. So, some tasks. After my presentation, we will go and we'll gather in small groups. And in the end of my presentation printout, there will be some tasks. First, think about these examples you just heard from many countries. When you go home, is there anything you could use to find new readers? Think about what you personally will do to attract new readers. What can you, as a language or national group, do or want to do in your community, country, to find readers? What might those areas be where you could do something? Your family, workplace, hobby circles, community. Think also about other reader in your country. What knowledge or skills do they have? How could they help? Put this all together and present it for others here as well. You will have for presenting that 3 minutes. Every group will choose a leader who will present what you decided there in workshop. Thank you.
Okay.